I have some good news for you guys. The fact that you see me and my bike and it didn't explode, it means that my last modification was successful.
I was delaying this job for a couple of months now. There's no easy way.
And what I did was I relocated the front harness, I completely reworked it, and I hid it behind under the fuel tank. And it was the most difficult job for me so far because I have no electrical skills, I have no electrical tools. But nevertheless, I decided to do it.
I tried to hide all these connectors under the tank, but they're too big, so the tank doesn't fit. So my temporary solution was a 3D printed panel. So I tied it all together with some cable ties and I got it hidden behind the panel, but the problem was that
But they were still visible on the sides. And the last drop of patience for me was when I clipped one of the wires. Fortunately, it was the indicator wire, but I didn't like it when the indicator stopped working. I knew that sooner or later I have to start doing it, and I started. So the first idea that I had, maybe I can just put the tank away and route the cables differently without doing any modification. So the job begun. I took the tank out, and honestly, I hate this job. It's difficult. There's not enough space, and every time you disconnect the tubes, there's some fuel leaks, and it goes all over the bike internals. And I don't know, I probably have some child trauma, but I really hate when fuel spills. But of course, this is unavoidable. So as soon as I have the tank removed,
let me tell you my plan. Previously I tried to hide all these cables in the gaps of the frame, but there's not enough cable length or there's not enough room. Everything is bulky, clumsy, and I was not able to do it. I spent a couple of hours, I did my best, but no matter how much I tried, I couldn't fit everything and I was not able to put the tank back. So now my plan is to remove the cable wrap. This should give me more freedom to reroute the cables. Definitely it's going to be a very difficult job, and I give myself 3 days, 3 evenings to complete it. I'm still a bit hesitant if I should do it, but I have to. This is the point of no return. This is the last moment I can be wise and stop and put the tank back. But I'm not stopping. I'm going in. So I've connected all these things up again. First, what I would like to find out if it's possible to do to put everything back together without too much modification of the stock harness. I doubt it because I already see that all the cables are quite stretched, but maybe I can free up some more cables by removing the black tape. If this works, this will simplify the job a lot.
well, unfortunately, the truth is you can't do it because the connectors that comes out, they are so bulky, and the stock wiring, it's all wired together and it's all wrapped together, so it doesn't allow you freedom to kind of, put it in places. And I know some people were lucky or successful in finding gaps in the frame and put cables in it, but I wasn't. So no matter how hard I tried, and I spent a lot of time doing it, and I never succeeded.
the tank doesn't fit because there's too much, and I'll need to move it down somewhere. The only good solution is to extend the wires.
The way I do the mods on this bike is I want to keep everything reversible. And as soon as you start cutting wires, you know, this is kind of point of no return. This is when it's not so easily reversible. So what I decided to do, I decided to keep the harness on the side of the bike as stock as possible with no modifications, but to extend the wires that comes from the controls, the headlight and the indicators. And you can argue that nobody cares about if you extended these wires, and this is perfectly reversible because you can buy the controls. I know you can buy all the stuff and it comes with the wires. So if you want to put it back, you still can.
It sounds a good idea to me because again, this way I will keep the bike more or less stock. The main harness at least will be untouched, and the only modification is with the controls. In the end, I can, if something goes completely wrong, I can always buy the new controls. They will come with the stock cables, and I can revert everything back to how it was before.
I started disconnecting all components, removed the throttle, the clutch, the indicators, the headlights, and the ignition.
Alright, so this job is now done. I removed everything from the front of the bike.
And the first thing that I discovered, and of course it's obvious for those that did something like this before, or for professionals, but it wasn't so obvious to me, is that every wire on the motorcycle is optimized in terms of diameter, in terms of gauge. So they use, of course, the smallest gauge that is required to carry the load. And what it means is that to do this job properly, it's not enough for you to buy just one cable, right? You need to buy all those different cable gauges. And if you have time, you can order from a specialized shop and they can cut 2 lengths. But I didn't want to wait for too much time, so I had to order cables from places like Amazon and eBay, and I had to order larger amounts of more cables. So I spent a little bit more money than I could. With all the controls removed, I started extending all the wires. I sourced all the correct wires, and I started soldering. It took me a couple of days because I don't have enough skills, so I had to learn as I go, and I watched a lot of YouTube videos how to splice the wires, and I think I did a pretty good job. Again, the beauty of doing it this way is that you can do it in the comfort of your own home. You don't need to do it in the garage, and especially in a garage like mine where I don't have no electricity. So it was much better to do it at home. And now it was the time to put everything back on the bike. Another piece of advice for beginners like me, and I'm pretty sure all the pros will support me on this one: don't buy cheap crap tools. Honestly, not only you will get a better quality job if you buy proper tools, but also you'll enjoy the process more. Yeah, using crap tools makes crap jobs. It took me some time to get it right because, again, you have all this new wiring and the bike wasn't designed to keep it. So you need to find places where to locate it. And the way I did it was I splitted all these wires in 2 chunks, the one to go on the left side, the one to go on the right side. And then I routed it in a way that it goes on the sides of the frames. And I did multiple attempts. So don't think there's a formula. You have to be creative about it, and you have to do multiple attempts. I had to unwrap the stock harness on the bike side as much as needed to allow myself a little bit more freedom to route the wires, and I locked them with cable ties, put the tank back on. It couldn't fit. I mean, it slides in, but then it doesn't go all the way down, and the holes for the bolts, they don't match. So maybe I did it, I don't know, 10 times. So I was really, do it when your tank is nearly empty, because otherwise you'll be lifting, I don't know, 15 kilos. With a lighter tank, it's a much easier job to do. When it was completed and the tank finally on the bike, it was a time for me to start the bike for the first time. And I was very, very nervous, to tell the truth.
So I will be starting the bike for the first time after I put everything together. I don't know what to expect. Will it start? Will it not? I don't know. Will it explode? I'm very nervous.
I didn't know what to expect. Would the bike start? Would it explode? Or I don't know. So I was really worried about that. I took leap of faith, rotated that ignition key, and the bike started. So I was like, yeah, you're right. That was the moment of, I don't know, celebration. I took the bike for a ride, and it's sort of smelling, or it's sort of burning. There's no smoke. It makes me happy. So now it's all complete. I can finally be satisfied with the way the front headlight is fitted. I do like the look of the Bates light. I think it's incredible. So I have a few wires routed here on the side of the frame, and another shank is routed on the left side. And then they come together in the bottom, and all the connectors click in. There's only one thing that I didn't do, and in the next episode I will tell you exactly what that is. Hopefully that was useful. If you're planning to do this kind of job, free to ask. And if you need any advice, wiring diagrams, or the information about the wires, don't hesitate to get in touch, and I'll be willing to help you as much as I can. All right, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.